Bitcoin is a cryptocurrency created in 2009 by an unknown man under the alias Satoshi Nakamoto. The creator of Bitcoin was probably a man who detested the trip to a banking hall and thought it would be much easier if they could shop with a real currency over the internet. Want to book a hotel in a new place? Bitcoin. Trading it has become a major form of income generation for the mass. It became even more popular after its big break in 2017. A safe store for the wealthy, the question is, what threat is being posed to this currency exchange form we have come to appreciate? In the year 2018, a news report titled "The Looming Threat of China" was published. It spoke about the Chinese influence on Bitcoin based on a speculative study by a group of researchers hailing from Princeton University and Florida International University. According to an article written by Tony Spilatro on www.newsbtc.com in the same year, they took a terrifying deep dive into China's increasing control over the Bitcoin network and the risks associated with the country's firm grasp. The researchers had pointed out to China, calling it the most powerful potential adversary to Bitcoin. They had warned of a variety of salient motives for attacking the system and a number of mature capabilities that China uniquely possesses, which are a threat to Bitcoin's integrity and its future as a world currency. The paper had also pointed to how heavily centralized Bitcoin mining has become, with over 80% of Bitcoin mining being performed by a total of 6 mining pools, 5 of which have base operations associated with China. Combined, the Chinese mining pools control 74% of Bitcoin's hash power, and only a 51% control over the network's hash power is required for a form of attack known as the 51% attack. The 51% attack is a situation where miners are able to make modifications of transactions on the supposedly untouchable ledger. The looming threat of China. The report in the year 2018 had made a note to check out China's Great Firewall, which is a form of barricade that protects and censors their internet content. The use of popular applications like Facebook, Twitter, and Google is regulated to protect the people within China. This has helped the local internet providers develop while abiding by the rules laid down by the government. According to the article written by Tony Spilatro, the firewall might be giving the Chinese miners preferential treatment in deciding what blocks to mine. Chinese miners, using this priority to their advantage, could be mining empty blocks in an attempt to move the miner up the queue and increase mining returns. However, the mining of empty blocks has a detrimental effect on the speed of Bitcoin's network. Reasons why China would destroy Bitcoin. 1. To make a statement. A network delay does not mark the topmost problem that investors have when it comes to Chinese control over Bitcoin's hash power. The researchers from Princeton University and Florida International University had identified 19 different types of attacks that the Chinese mining pools are currently capable of. One such attack, called a Goldfinger attack, researchers say could destroy Bitcoin. A line from The Looming Threat of China had read, "The most likely scenario is a death spiral in which China can credibly threaten a Goldfinger attack and rational miners will be scared off, thus destroying Bitcoin." The Goldfinger is more of a technique to weaken the reliability of Bitcoin in the eye of the public, thereby bringing its downfall. It is totally okay for the seat of power for Bitcoin mining to be in China, so what would motivate them to destroy Bitcoin? Researchers did come up with a notion concerning China's communist policy being threatened by Bitcoin, and this is not to be taken lightly by the Chinese government, hence a looming threat to weaken or destroy it in order to make a statement. The researchers had also said that virtually any violation of Bitcoin security suffices to achieve this goal as long as it is highly visible. This means that the devaluation or total destruction of Bitcoin is at stake, and it doesn't matter as long as they get to pass their point across. 2. Weaponization of Bitcoin. The looming threat of the China report came to a nerve-wracking conclusion with an example of how China could use their influence to weaponize Bitcoin. The Tony Spilatro article had mentioned that many foreign economies look to cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin as a safe haven due to the lack of financial infrastructure in their country, or due to the way their governments control traditional fiat currencies. The report had said that China may seek to attack Bitcoin as a way to indirectly attack an enemy country and destabilize their already fragile economy. The specific statement written went this way: to exert influence in a foreign country where Bitcoin is in use, China may aim to weaken or even totally destroy Bitcoin. This could be done by targeting specific users or miners for attack, or by generally weakening consensus to increase volatility to a breaking point. Sometime in the future, if the Chinese government go along the lines predicted by these researchers, owning Bitcoins could cause a serious fall to nations with disputes against the Chinese government. This is not the end though. Keep watching to find out the most important reason why China might consider the destruction of Bitcoin. If you are enjoying this video, please give us a thumbs up, and also go down to the comments section and dish out your take on this fragile topic. 3. Threat to the nation. According to an article written by scpm.com, China's massive mining companies could undermine the nation's efforts to reduce emissions unless the government steps in. According to a recent study, the annual energy consumption of China's Bitcoin miners is expected to peak in 2024 at about 297 terawatt hours, which was more than was used in Italy in 2016. The miners' annual carbon emissions are set to peak at 130 million tons in 2024, or more than the greenhouse gas emissions of the Czech Republic in 2016. The study was published in the peer-reviewed journal Nature Communications by researchers from the University of the Chinese Academy of Sciences, Tsinghua University, Cornell University, and the University of Surrey. Zhang Shengrong, lead author of the study and a researcher with the University of the Chinese Academy of Sciences, had stated that, in quote, "the carbon emissions of this emerging industry have a potential hindering effect on China's climate neutrality targets." China had a goal for its carbon emissions to peak before 2030 and achieve carbon neutrality by 2060. Bitcoin will be ruining their initial plan. Bitcoin miners used the basic central processing unit on general-purpose computers before they moved to graphic processing units, which offered more power, and later to application-specific integrated circuits. The South China Morning Post had also stated that the rapid hardware development and fierce competition significantly increased the capital expenditure for Bitcoin mining, but also led to massive energy consumption. The research also compared commonly implemented carbon emission policies, including limiting Bitcoin mining access, site regulation, and implementing a carbon emission tax. Under a carbon tax scenario, Bitcoin miners would be charged double the usual rate for their emissions, but the researchers said this would have only a limited effect in reducing carbon emission intensity. The evidence of Bitcoin blockchain operation suggests that with the broader usage and application of blockchain technology, new protocols should be designed and scheduled in an environmentally friendly manner, it said. Despite what the researchers had said about weaponizing and Goldfinger attacks, it appears Chinese miners are working towards alternative technology that could host the excessive expenditure consumed by the mining process, rather than looking for ways to terminate its existence, which is quite comforting. We have come to the end of today's video. We hope you enjoyed the ride. Thanks for watching. See you next time.